Stephen Timms here out and about in Harlow this morning. What issues do you expect to hear from the people?
Well, I think people are going to be talking to us about the cost of living. Energy bills are very much in the headlines at the moment. And really, Ed Miliband, since the speech he made at the Labour Party conference a couple of months ago, has been setting the political agenda. Energy bills right at the top of the list of concerns, but other things as well that are hitting people on the cost of living front. And yesterday, it appears, according to the energy companies, that the government has been trying to persuade them not to put their prices up before the election, but then they can do what they like after the election, which just seems a pretty unsatisfactory position to have arrived at. And I think people will be very concerned about those issues when we talk to them in Harlow this morning.
Do you think the Labour message is getting across, though?
I think it is getting across. I mean, it's taken us some time, but I think people are very interested in the idea that Ed Miliband has proposed, that we should have a price freeze on energy bills for 20 months while we work out a proper regulation of the energy market, get some competition in it to keep the downward pressure on prices. I think people are seeing that is a very good way forward. The government, on the other hand, doesn't really seem to have any answers at all.
What about issues like the bedroom tax? An MP I spoke to recently, a Conservative MP, said, fingers on one hand, the amount of people have raised it with them.
Well,
does that surprise you?
It does surprise me. A lot of people have been raising it with me, and what I'm finding when I go around knocking on doors, fairly frequently there will be somebody sitting inside their front door who is frightened because they don't know whether they're going to be able to carry on paying the rent and staying in their home. They can't move. There isn't anywhere smaller for them to move to. And I think this is a pretty heartless measure that the government has taken. Hundreds of thousands of people across the country are affected. Most of them have got a disabled person in the household, and really it needs to be repealed. We've committed to repeal it as soon as we are elected, but I mean, a lot of people will not be able to wait, frankly, until the general election. They're going to lose their homes.
Do you feel you're here on a Saturday? I'm sure you're out, on your surgeries, etc. Are you on any form of election footing, or is this just a natural rhythm of a 5-year period?
Well, of course, what's unusual about this term is we know when the election is going to be. It's going to be in May 2015. We've never been in that position before. There's always been an element of uncertainty about it. Now we know. So I think that does mean we're going to have a very long election campaign. It doesn't quite feel like the full-blown election campaign yet, but it won't be long. And I think it is going to be a much longer campaign than we're normally used to.